Hey, good morning, Ed Drost.
Good morning, Stephen Rieger. Today, look, the last several mornings, or at least for the last probably 6, 7 days, we've been doing three wellness, attracting healthcare professionals. Today, it's attracting chiropractors and doctors. And we have Dr. Alicia Clevenger and Dr. Sabo, who's on our scientific advisory board, and they're just talking. And what they do, they go into and we hear from three other people that have been using the products, their testimonials.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to have them today, but we're going to just listen to Dr. Alicia and Dr. Sabo explain why they're in three and what they're all about. So
Perfect.
So here we go. So here is Dr. Alicia Clevenger.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm excited that you're here. I'm Dr. Alicia Clevenger, and I come to you from Iowa in the United States. I'm excited for this evening. We have a great group that are joining us. We will have our first guest this evening will be Dr. Stephen Sabo, and he'll be joining us in just a moment from Florida. Then we'll have a few guests that'll be here to share their testimonials, to share about the three products and how they have affected their lives in a great way. So sit back, take a deep breath, grab something to drink, and join us as we let you delve into our world of three. Like I said, I'm from Iowa in the United States. I'm a chiropractor, and I've been a chiropractor for over 20 years. I have a specialty in pediatrics and nutrition. So I always like to say nutrition and supplements are my jam. I love everything about them. I love talking with people about them, helping people find the best and right products for themselves and their families. It's something I've always loved doing. So when I learned about this company 3 and what they had that was different from anything else I'd ever found on the market, the absorption, cellular absorption, basically finding the best ingredients in the world and being able to use them in a way that gets really high absorption. When people are absorbing what they take, absorbing what they use, guess what's happening? They're getting fabulous results. And that's what we're going to share with you tonight. That's why I came to 3, because I wanted to be part of this movement that was helping people to feel better, move better, have better function, and really change their lives in a vitalistic manner and be able to use these products for proactive health, which is what 3 is all about. My first guest tonight, our expert is Dr. Stephen Sabo.
And as we said, there's Dr. Dan Gubler to the left. He's the chief scientist, but right next to him is Dr. Stephen Sabo, who's on the scientific advisory board.
Mm-hmm.
And, they were all out in Salt Lake City when we were out there, all talking, telling how they love the products, use the products, promote the products, and how it's added to their bottom line. Or I think as in Dr. Sabo's case, he's kind of transitioning out after 28 years and creating a different way of going into retirement, I guess you would say.
Possibly. There you go.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Dr. Stephen Sabo. So here we go.
He comes to us from Florida. Hi, Dr. Sabo. How are you?
Hi, Alicia.
Hi. He comes to us from Florida, and he has a wealth of knowledge in healthcare. He has 28 years of emergency room experience in New York and New Jersey. He's brilliant. We love learning from him. And I'll tell you what is so amazing is that he is on our scientific advisory board. And so with all of his accolades in internal medicine and emergency medicine, he wants to be a part of what we're doing. He went to medical school in France and finished at Chicago Medical School. So I learned from him today that he might be one of the only few people that can really properly pronounce the names of our 6 products. Is that right?
Probably. I haven't checked with Tim and Lana and all the other doctors, but having gone to school in France, je parle français.
Right? There you go. So that was awesome to hear. So I may let him say some of them tonight just so that you can hear them correctly. He sometimes says that maybe that's why 3 chose him, because he can pronounce them all so well. But I will tell you, I think it's because of his vast knowledge that he has in the healthcare industry. He's married. Him and his wife have 2 daughters, and I am so excited that he's here tonight to share with us. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Alicia.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and your specialty, your career, and let's start there. And then I would love to hear what brought you into 3. Why 3 for you?
So my background is, as you mentioned, I did residencies in internal medicine, and then I've been an emergency medicine, and I've been practicing in New York and New Jersey 28 years now. And one thing that I would say is I've seen a lot of disease and illness and trauma and a lot of different things in my career. And I always thought maybe there's some way we could just prevent some of this. And I got to tell you, if 5 years ago, for example, I couldn't imagine being on a discussion like this, because as I tell people, my wife couldn't even get me to take vitamin C. And I think you were just saying, Dr. Alicia, how you've been taking nutritional products and the like for years and helping your patients with that. And back when I went to medical school back in the 1980s, there were no teachings on nutritional products. And of course, I went to medical school in France, so we learned about all the French medicines, which had yet to come to this country because the medicines start over there in Europe, and then eventually they're brought over here. So I didn't really know from nutritional products. My father's a retired doctor, and we didn't have nutritional products in the house. But when I started learning about them, and first listening to my wife, I must say, about taking the vitamin C, and then finally taking nutritional products. And I would also say seeing studies that show the benefits of many of these products, which is really what doctors and a lot of health professionals want to see, about liposomal glutathione and the such. I became intrigued, and I only take nutritional products right now. Knock on wood, my health is good, and I line them up every morning now. And like I said, if you told me this 5 or 6 years ago, I tell you, you're probably crazy that in 5 years I would be talking to you about nutritional products. But that's really, why I'm here, excited to teach people about this. And I'll leave you with this, Alicia. I would say that my passion these days is to encourage proactive wellness like we do here in 3, and teach people about the advantages of nutrition and health and wellness products, so that people become healthier and they don't have to see me, so to speak, as a patient in the ER.
I think that's wonderful. And if you have any mission, what a good one to have. And I love that as you, one of the things we didn't mention is that he has actually not retired, but is in transitioning out of emergency medicine, and him and his wife have moved to Florida. And I love that as you're moving into this next phase of your life, that you're able to incorporate that and use this knowledge that you've learned to where you're going next, which is, I think, a big blessing, which is wonderful. What is your favorite 3 product?
Well, I just mentioned liposomal glutathione, and that's Etalnal, or Eternal, as you say in English. I love that, the CoQ10. One thing I learned, I was preparing for a talk I gave on inflammation, and glutathione had to come up because glutathione is the most potent antioxidant in the body. And as we get older, the glutathione levels drop. And so it's just such a great product to have liposomal glutathione that enhanced absorption in the body. So it's definitely the Eternal.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. It's one of the favorites in our home. I will tell you, I've loved glutathione for a long time. Glutathione, not in the way that we have it at 3, actually tastes very terrible. Glutathione itself, my children would call it the stinky foot vitamin because that's really how it smells. It smells terrible. So when I was able to find this glutathione, my children don't even know that it's in there because it tastes so great. And that's what I love about Eternal is that my teenage son can take a packet on his way out the door to practice and have one and get the health benefits of that. But it tastes amazing. And I think that's a big key for people that know glutathione.
It's the easiest product to take because it's the best tasting. I mean,
it is. Very good. What would be one of if you had to give one piece of advice to people just about their health and maintaining their health, what might that be? And then we're going to jump into our testimonials so we can hear from them.
Sure. So I would say whether you're somebody that's into health and nutrition and supplementation for a long time, like Dr. Alicia, somebody who's gotten into it like myself more recently, it's never too late to start. And I'll tell you, I've seen so many people over the years that have had, health issues, weight issues, and the likes. And again, if they had just done better with their nutrition or supplementation, I think a lot of their ailments and a lot of diseases could have been prevented. So never too late to start, get started. Find the product or products that work for you, and let's all be on this mission to have a healthier world out there.
I think that's amazing, and that's why we're here.
So that's what 3 is all about, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
And like you said, I guess the one thing I kind of took from that is, we go to the doctors. We think the doctors understand nutritional supplements and that we should be using them and his dad was a doctor. He's a doctor. Their educational background is really, they don't learn about nutrition, how nutrition plays a very, very big part in the way your health is.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely right. Whether it's in France or whether it's here in the United States. I mean, certainly 20 years ago, there was no conversation taking place in medical school about supplements. And so, yeah, the doctors don't know what they don't know, and they're busy and they're running around, with a heavy patient load and so forth. And the last thing they have time to do is to stop, take a deep breath, and start poking around and looking at stuff. They have to focus on putting out the immediate fires, if you will, and that usually involves being reactive.
Yeah.
With wellness relative to patient care rather than being proactive. Now, that's changed somewhat in medical school from my understanding, but there again, it depends on the healthcare professional. There's still, you got big pharma out there brainwashing doctors all day long about all their latest products. And, I mentioned yesterday my checkup at my physical, excuse me, at my primary care physicians and the nurse practitioner, when she'd ask me what was up, I'm like, yeah, I've got still battling with my shoulder a little bit. And she's like, oh, well, first reaction was, oh, let me give you some Celebrex. And I'm like, yeah, no. My first reaction was no. I want to go the natural, healthy, effective route rather than get stuck on something that's going to not be good for me long term. And so I'm grateful for Revive, but the glutathione that Dr. Sabo was mentioning in the Eternal is actually really, really good as well. When I was talking to my chiropractor, he's last week, he's all about glutathione. He's currently getting that from another product, and he may very well not be getting the absorption that he's getting here. So, I got to kind of circle back with him on that aspect. So point being, yes, there are physicians and chiropractors that are aware of what the latest and greatest products are, and there's a whole bunch of others that are not. And it's incumbent upon us to share with folks and give them the information that they need to make an intelligent decision. And that segues straight into the physician's desk reference or the prescriber's digital reference. I need to send my doctor the link to Revive, and that is a quick and easy way, and a vetted way, a trusted way for healthcare professionals to get the additional information, the deep dive, if you will, on our products and ingredients and everything else. And they wouldn't be in the PDR if the ingredients hadn't been vetted through the FDA, and if the PDR folks weren't satisfied that these products are worthy of being in the PDR. It's not a low bar to get in there. It's a high bar. It's considered a true, trusted, neutral source for healthcare professionals. You can't buy your way in other words.
Yeah, and if like you said, I think what I've heard, and I'm just I don't know for sure, but a lot of the pharmaceuticals, the doctors get a little kickback from dishing out certain products.
That's something that's been cracked down upon a little bit,
Okay.
but they're still
Well,
less,
and I don't know, and I'm saying this, I don't know for sure, but I mean, there's always some sort of compensation plan, involved here. A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's still educational trips and different things of that sort that are a little less obvious. I think in the old days it used to be, flat out vacations, junkets, and that kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, doctors align themselves with different pharmaceutical companies and products because they believe them to be the best solution. But once again, they don't know what they don't know. We've got, a better way, and for the doctors that do discover that there is a legitimate proactive wellness approach, and particularly they see the value of our products to facilitate that, that's a no-brainer. And is every doctor going to be open to that? No, and that's okay. We're only looking for the ones that are.
Yeah, and and in years past, like you said, Stephen, you were saying as of a few days ago, you've been going to the chiropractor for 40 some years, and like I've never been to a chiropractor, but there was always like a conflict between doctors and chiropractors, like what a chiropractor wasn't doing wasn't medicine, or like back and forth.
Right.
And I think now, because chiropractors use a lot of the more, getting you in alignment plus nutrition, where doctors weren't going that route.
Right.
And I think that's starting to change a little bit with people, first of all, with consumers getting more knowledge about proactive wellness.
Yep.
Going to their doctor saying, look, okay, now with having 6 products on the PDR, you could go to your doctor and say, look, this is what I'm doing. I've listened to, we're going to have some testimonials on, but the last week we've been listening to do some testimonials. You said your blood work came back. It was fantastic.
Yep. Better than ever.
Better than ever. And there was another lady that said the same thing. So when when all of a sudden, like I think she said she's always had issues with her cholesterol. And her cholesterol went from I'm throwing a number out here, but we'll say from 290 down to 235, and I'm not sure what the range is, but it dropped, and it hadn't been dropping, and all of a sudden it dropped since the last checkup. And they were asking her, well, what are you doing? And it's not taking cholesterol medicine. You got what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, full disclosure, I'm on a very, 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 very low dose statin at this point.
Okay.
But that is, I attribute much more of my success to overall blood numbers to where we're at with 3 right now. And I resisted taking a statin for a long time. But there is heart disease, and there is my mother's had strokes and heart attacks, and so I don't want to be stupid either. And
no, I understand you need to do that, but what I'm saying is, if you're on a statin and you go and you get your blood work done over a course of time, and there's really no change,
right,
or minimal change, but then you see these very powerful results, maybe that's something you need to look into, is all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's not just about cholesterol. I mean, there's plenty of things. I've got elevated liver function. I've got a few other things going on, and again, all of those numbers are great. I've had traditionally a high ferritin level, which is similar to a high iron level, and I've had to go get phlebotomies, or we naturally dilute that level, and those levels are very low for me at this point, and a number of other things are like I said, better than ever. So it's and I'm not getting any younger, and I'm a cancer survivor, so all of those things, I got to go get a colonoscopy. I'm overdue for that, so that's the next medical thing that I need to stay on top of. But in all other respects, 20 months later, I'm cancer free for my prostate, and life is good. So I definitely believe that being proactive is the key, and we have a great solution around that.
Yeah. So, well, like you said, we've ran, we stay around 15 minutes, went a little longer today, but it was a good, good introduction to our products.
Mm-hmm.
3, go to temovement.com, connect with me, Ed Droz, connect with Stephen Reeker. And also, like you said, we got plenty of information about our products we can send you. We'll be doing more testimonials from just regular people like myself and Stephen, who have been on the products and love what's happening to them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. Ed, good job as always. Probably a little TMI on my personal health, but it's all good because it's what we're all dealing with. So
yeah.
All right. Well, good. All right. You have an awesome day, and we'll catch you later. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one. All right. Bye.